everybody, I'm Britney Shiflet. Here's your weekly look at life and learning on the BYU campus. This stadium has been the home of many memories for the girls this season. Players like Kyoto and Zananti have broken all-time school records right here on these plates. There's 385 different routes in Rock Canyon, but the one I'm climbing right now is about 45 feet, which the guys say is the general size of most of the routes. This is where all the fresh produce is. This is where the melons, the peppers, pretty much all the fruits and vegetables are sliced and diced in here. These are the joysticks that they use for driving the rover, but they also use them for operating the camera lens so that they can find things to pick up. This is where all the costumes are kept for the one-act operas, and according to the director, over 70 costumes are used for each night. James Dark has recently released a book describing the heritage of movie making in Utah. The book gives us an idea of why so many films have used its beautiful yet unique landscapes, and is filled with old pictures and archived information that most film historians have never even seen.
That's part of what took 30 years to do this book, is searching archives and photo collections for photographs to many of those films now considered lost, because that's the only evidence we have of where they were filmed.
Dark has pretty much dotted Utah's southern maps in search of materials and information for his book. Places like Kanab and Puryear Canyon are two of the main sites he visited because so much of Utah's film history was made there. Dark even ventured out to where McKenna's Gold was filmed and found the exact spot where Gregory Peck lurked among the boulders.
I asked somebody, where's Lee's Ferry? Because that's where they shot that. And they said, oh, it's an hour and a half south. Okay, what highway do I take? Oh, you take 89A. So I hopped in the car and just deadheaded it.
Over a dozen Western classics have been shot in Utah, showcasing its rare terrain. Drums Around the Mohawk is one of those feature films set in Cedar Mountain, Utah. It was the first color feature in Utah territory, so producers started things off right and had a genuine fort built for the set. But if we're talking popularity, no Western hit it off quite like The Lone Ranger.
But I wanted to see his face, to ask his name.
You cannot see his face. He will wear the mask until there is no longer any need for it. And his name is the Lone Ranger.
Before TVs and computers were invented, the cinema was the main source of information for people. So that means when Westerns started hitting the big screen, there couldn't have been any better form of publicity for Utah. Dark started off as an undergrad at BYU and has stayed here working in the L. Tom Perry Special Collections almost 34 years, a period of time that has flown by to him.
What I really love about this job is preserving the best of the past. Times are changing so quickly that we don't do enough looking at the past masters of the trade.
As the first speaker for the library's House of Learning lecture series, Dark shared the story of his book and afterwards at the book signing sold out of all his books. But just in case you were wondering, the bookstore does have a few copies. Next time you drop in, we recommend you take a look at When Hollywood Came to Town. Britney Shiflet, BYU Weekly. The Bee Museum has been a campus hotspot since it opened in 1978. The wide variety of things to look at the museum attracts both students and families. But despite what you may think, the museum isn't just for looking. It also provides things for its tourists to do, like putting on interactive reptile exhibits.
It's fun because it's interactive. We're able to teach and present, help people learn more about wildlife and nature, and kind of gain a respect for something they may not have known a lot about.
Brandon Kura is one of the museum's educators. He does tours and different shows like the reptile exhibit to help visitors learn and experience in a more hands-on way. And lucky for us, we had the privilege of being in the audience for his first show yet.
You know, it is a little bit nerve-wracking to always present in front of people, but you know, we're provided with the right information and material, so we're able to study up and do what we can. So I really enjoyed it.
Kura says the shows are the hidden secret of the museum, but once people learn about them, they always come back for more. The Egeman family saved their first experience at the reptile exhibit for a family outing Monday night, which ended up being a fun and free outing for everyone.
It was fun learning about the different kinds and the touching the animals. I think the kids enjoyed that.
We talked about 4 different types of reptiles. What was the first one?
Crocodilians, snakes, turtles, and lizards were all on the program for the reptile extravaganza. Each reptile group was accompanied by a live mascot to give the kids a feel for what they were really like. And for the Eggman little girls, their fear of touching the daunting reptiles was trumped by their curiosity for them.
Yeah, good job.
I'm so brave.
You are brave.
It felt like kind of scary and also kind of squishy. It felt like I was touching something that would be really rough.
Museum educators say they realize people love interactive learning, which is why they've displayed large "Do Not Touch" signs around almost all of the wildlife displays to preserve them. Even though you're not supposed to touch the animals on display, you can get a feel for the animals' furs right here in the texture box. You can touch the river otter, the zebra, and the crocodile. From reptile exhibits to date nights inside a closed museum, the Bean Life Science Museum has everything to make for a free and fun outing here on campus. If these wildlife adventures sound exciting to you, visit mlbean.byu.edu for more information. Britney Shiflet, BYU Weekly.
This is the world's first E1 class 1,100-pound Streamliner electric car.
This bullet invention, weighing less than 1,100 pounds, left everyone staring in awe the day it finally set its wheels on Salt Lake's open flats. It was the day this unique electric blue automotive was going to fulfill its purpose, the day that hundreds of students and faculty members had been waiting for. The day they let it fly.
And they really transmit a lot of the road feel up to the driver, so you can get a good sense of how the car is functioning just by feeling the car. It kind of comes alive as you drive.
With the wheels taken straight from a drag race car, BYU students were able to craft a vehicle with tires that had enough friction against the flats to sustain its intense high speeds. That means it comes as no surprise when the driver sees the speedometer reach a whopping 205 on the dial.
You actually need a special license to be able to drive this car. So I'm not too sad about that because it'll be going so fast, so I'm okay with that.
Dax Wells is one of the students who put some major sweat into engineering the car this year. But after talking with the team, we found out that his feelings towards driving the vehicle didn't quite speak for everyone.
Because it's something we've worked so much on, and to see it is one thing, to be in it would just be completely, over the top. It would be amazing.
Unfortunately, when race day came, the car took a turn for the worse and crashed at nearly 170 miles per hour. But despite their failure to set the world record, the team is still hopeful and excited about improving the car for next year's attempt. For more information or to stay posted on the car's updates, visit BYUstreamliner.com. Well, that's all for this edition of BYU Weekly. Feel free to check out our website, byuweekly.byu.edu, to watch this episode again or to explore our archive. I'm Britney Shiflet. Thanks for watching BYU Weekly.